All right, good morning, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started. We have a remote presenter today who is coming to us from Utah. So I'm just going to go ahead and provide the quick overview of 1 Million Cups, and then we'll kick it right on over to our presenter today. So the mission of 1 Million Cups Westminster is to lower the barrier for access to education, resources, connections, and entrepreneurs. The mission does not get accomplished without the pillars and the core program, which are that this is about presentations, not pitches. It's about connection, not networking. Our culture is to be for the community, by the community. Nobody has ownership of 1 Million Cups Westminster. Nobody should be paid to do 1 Million Cups Westminster, and we intend to be radically inclusive. We meet every week on Wednesdays at 9 a.m. 2 presenters when possible. Today we have 1, Baruch. Presenters' organizations must be less than 5 years old and willing to ask for help. We always end with the question, what can we as a community do to help you? This is our organizing team. Myself from Magic, Russ Hammett, Vicki Slickman from Ting, John Wheatman, attorney at law, Tina Thomas from Infinite Love Project, Julia Snap from Dirigible Systems, and Gabby Rose also from Magic. Which reminds me to thank our sponsors. Our organization, Magic, is one of our community sponsors. We do nonprofit technology education here in the community. We also have Startup Portal, our host today, as our other community sponsor, making their space available to all of us. And then we also have Jeannie Bird Baking Company, who is obviously sponsoring the food and the coffee this morning, the great butterhorns and the scones. And then if you are watching us remotely from Facebook Live, we have Furnace Hills Coffee as another coffee sponsor. So you can order your coffee online and get a 25% discount off your whole online order with the discount code 1MC Westminster. We could put that in the comments for the Facebook attendees. So without further ado, let me stop sharing my screen and go back over to our presenter here in Zoom. Please welcome Vladimir Philippe from Kado. Go ahead, Vladimir, take it away and share your screen.
Thank you. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Can you see my screen now?
Yep, looks good.
Great. Okay, Kado is Kado is democratizing access to a college student's first job. Now there are 44% of college students are jobless, in massive debt, and they have bad credit scores. Businesses are looking for talented college students who have the skill set to join the full-time job. Schools are looking for businesses that can create great projects for the students to gain the skill sets and to land a full-time job. What is Kado? Kado helps businesses find talented students for projects that they might need help with. Kado helps schools engage the students in learning by getting paid. Kado helps students work on projects, gain skills, get paid while you are in school, and avoid the worst part of finding a job. If you are a business, you would post a projects on Kado, then students would say that they are really interested. Then the business would choose as students. Then the student would work on the projects. Then bit the business would pay on Kado. So the business hurdle. So a business pays Kado $25 per student per an hour, and Kado would get 20% of that fee, and every project goes to 10 weeks long, and a student can work in fall, spring, summer on 3 projects. So we have done a few projects with the University of Utah, Zions Bank, Amazon too as well. So those are the companies that we are talking to and to bring on in Q1. So in USA, there are over 20 million college students, and those university on the screens, they just all have a combined 2 million college students. Michigan State has over 60,000 college students, and Kado only needs 0.5% of all college students to really work on projects. That means 200,000 students we want to serve yearly. So the market size is the same as the business hurdle. So we think that we can place 100 students per schools from 1,000 schools in USA. So for this year, we believe that we can serve 100,000 students, which might get us a revenue of 375 million in the next few years. So we have talked to the services at schools, and we have gone to startups too as well, and to really explain how Kado could help them get rid of tasks and to really work with college students. So those are the major competitors that we have that connect students to projects and to businesses, but Kado does things really unique. So Kado connects students to those businesses, and Kado micro manage those projects. So we built a project management tool within Kado to have PMs on Kado that helps students to really work on those projects and to gain the skill set that they need. So I democratize access to a college student because I believe that I care about providing all student opportunities to really accelerate their career. So I moved here nine years ago, and I went to school to get my CS. Within my second year, I got a job at I got the job at the American Express. But I was very lucky to really have a friend to help me get a software engineering job because I didn't speak English at the time, only spoke French. So I realized that not every talented student have the connections to really have a great career. That's why I built Kado to help them get the foot into the tech jobs. My advisor Phil, Tassie, Chris, and Bryson. So this is all, and the things I'm asking for is really an introduction to VCs, if you guys know any, and introduction to businesses that really have small tasks that college students can work on, and introduction to schools, and to have them use Kado for the students. Thank you.
Great job, Vladimir. Thank you very much. So, well, we can turn it to the community here. If anybody has any questions for Vladimir about what he's presented about Kado. Tina Thomas.
Thank you for that the presentation and helping us understand what you pronounce it Kado.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because if I were to use my phonics, I'd say Kado. And so it's Kado, and then
Kado.
Kado. Okay. I'm loving it anyway. So I guess the question is, in your request to introduce you to schools, we have two colleges here in our county that I could use as an example. I know that as a business owner, both of them have career websites that we could post a job opening to for their students. If I were to try to introduce you to them, how would I position that your service in light of the fact that they each have their own unique jobs board that's online already? How would you supplement that? What would I say to them?
That's a good question. Kado is not really a job site. Kado is trying to change the like old way that students do the internships, or businesses do the internships, or school do internships, right? Because if you give a college student a homework that's really easy, they will work on it. They will do it fast. But if you give them a work that's really hard, 20% of them only will seek for help. So the way that the internship is now, the sites that really exist now connect the students to those internships, and now the students is left alone to try to like learn the things on their own, because the businesses are busy. They don't really have time to train them or coach them. So that's where Kado comes in to micromanage those projects, those internships for the businesses, for the schools, for the students too as well. And let's say a freshman students work on 3 projects per year, fall, spring, summer. So within the second year, they would be working on 6 projects. So now they really have an opportunity to land a high-paying job. And if they land a high-paying job, that successful Kado. So we can take that data and show it to the schools and say, hey, your freshman students started on 1 project, and the second year they work on 6 projects and land a high-paying job. So the schools can use that data to recruit high school students to the colleges, because now schools spend billions of dollars on ads to recruit school students, because students don't want to go to college and to have a high student loan debt. So with Kado now, they know they can get a job within their 2nd year, because they will work on those small tasks.
Thank you for that clarification.
Thank you.
Yes, Steve. Good job, man. I love that you're going out there, and I totally resonate with the student debt issue, the unemployment issue. So a couple things. So it sounds like this is for placement while still in college then, or is it for after?
Still in college. If you're out of college, you might need 2 years and maximum 2 years. Because I want to have a son on Kado that finished school in 2010. That doesn't make you a college student anymore. 10, 12 years out of college, right?
Okay. I guess that,
But there is an opportunity. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I believe what he's saying is that it seems like you saw that there could be other people that are not college students that could also benefit. Is that what?
right. Because I guess I'm wondering, I wasn't familiar with the competitors that you showed there. I'm just wondering, why would someone go with Kado instead of Indeed or Monster or any temp agency? But I suppose if this is really rooted in, like, I'm in college now, I've got 2 more years, and you're going to get me some project experience. That sounds more like what you're going for, yeah.
Yes. Just until, yeah, it's only for college students. It's only for college students. You're out of college, you cannot be on Kado.
Gotcha. Okay.
And you're connecting to employers who are in need of interns to assist them in whatever growth process they are in their business, correct?
Yes. And Kado is really trying to change how those businesses create jobs, because now there are 1 million tech jobs. That's a lot of jobs now, right? But they cannot fill them because they can't find those talents, right? So instead of having a manager wait for 6 months to really open a job, now Kado forced them to create a task on Kado that students can really work on. So they don't have to wait for 6-8 months to really open a job and to wait for 2, 3, 4, 500 people to they apply for them. So so as long as they have a small task, and they can go on Kado, create a small task for students. So now the students are getting the skill set, and they can hire those students too as well fast.
Oh, I love that concept. So you're saying that, even a business who does not currently use interns can be introduced to Kado as a means to start an internship to help them hire when they can't
Yes.
currently. Yes?
Yes.
Awesome.
We have a question on the chat from Zoom, from Russ Hammett, one of our community organizers. He says, I wish this was around when I was a student. Do you have any literature resources to help both students and non-students in building these connections? Do you have any use for non-students in helping you build a better product?
Yes, I have a product that might be out next year for the people that really want to change their career, right? Because when you look at an edtech startup, they like all have their course online for people to learn sales or business or finance and those, but they do not have a platform where they can get those practices, right? So that's what I'm thinking about, to really bring a new platform for them, but they would not have the same access as college students, because the college students would have Kado that have task for students. And I thinking of Kado X for people that are not in college.
Gotcha. All right. Tiffany, go ahead.
So,
Yes, go ahead.
college
Yes,
students
go
to
ahead.
gain experience and have a resume builder so that when they get out of college, most jobs that require the 2-year experience, they'll already have that because they've started within their second year working on various projects for different companies. So it's a win-win for them to utilize different companies that are out there to get their foot in the door, and for them to potentially go to other companies already having the necessary experience on their resume when they graduate college.
Yes.
But essentially
Yes.
what you're trying to do is fill
Yes.
that 2-year experience
Yes.
requirement and,
Yes.
and help the students and the businesses with people who already know how to do those projects within the company that they're, so they're getting in and they're able to get in right after college and not have to find those remedial jobs in order to get their foot in the door. This way they can go in with the experience right out of college.
Yes. Let's say that you watch sports, right? And if you are a sports fans, college football, you watch Alabama football, right? Alabama football coach gets those talents, train them, and to really get them ready for and for NFL. So Kado is really doing that to really train those like students early on task and projects and those things. So within 3 years, so they are ready to really go into the workplace and to work on those tasks fast and to really make a huge impact.
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, I have a question. So if you have a business that has a project, do you then work with the college career center and then they identify students and get those students ready with a resume and interviewing techniques and those skills so that they can then interview for that project position? Or do you guys do all of that prep and preparation for that student to be successful so that they can land that project?
That is a good question. So the first way, Kado really asked the top startups that we have on to come up with a test, with a test, and every college student who really have an account on Kado before they see a project, they have to take that test, and every college student who passes the test, they have a certain skill set. Now, when a business creates that projects and push it on Kado, every college student who pass the test and have that skill set will really get an email. They will get a notification, and they can say, okay, interested. So they are interested. The business can see 5 or 10 students who are interested. So now the business can pick 2 or 3 or 1 students to really work on that project. So there's no really interview, because I'm trying to get rid of that by having businesses create tests for college students in terms of an interview process.
What competencies, like what industry competencies are your top, like that you look for when you're administering these tests to students? Or do you have, like, I would imagine computers, I think I saw like Deloitte up there, so accounting. So are you looking for specific industry standards for those tests, or?
Yes. So for now that I work with those tech startup, and then I have Facebook, I have Amazon too as well, that's willing to create the test. So the top startups, the top businesses will create a test, so that the small businesses don't really need to create a test, because if Facebook has that test and it's just available to as well for a small business. So every talent that a huge business can get, a small business too as well should get that. So the test is really available for all college students who is in sales or business or coding or design. So they will have a test for the major or the career, like tech or science or nursing or things like that.
Any other questions for Vladimir?
We have a question on Facebook
A question on Facebook. Go ahead, Gabby.
from Jenna Shriver from Together Studios. How do businesses connect with Kado? Do they do it via your website or through social media?
So now we have a lot of demand. So I have to give them access to Kado, because I don't want you to really have an account and you don't create task for students for months or years, right? So only startups who have tasks now that would really have access to Kado.
Yes, Rick Lombach from Startup Portal in the back.
Yeah, if you can hear me, how many people have you have gone through the system? Have used
How many people have gone through your system so far? Right?
In terms of students or school or businesses?
Students.
Students, we have over 150, because we started small in fall and to try that out. But Kado has over 95,000 students this spring.
You say 5,000?
Yes.
Wow. What was the blood pressure? Yeah. Okay. Any questions?
We have another one on Facebook. What does Kado mean?
Did you hear that?
Yes. Kado means gift, and I speak French, and so it Kado in French doesn't spell like that. It's longer too as well. So I wanted to have it short, so I spell it wrong. So Kado means gift.
And Vladimir, you said you moved here from Utah to Utah. Where did you move from?
Canada, Quebec.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Quebec?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome to the south of the border.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Vladimir?
Just a request for contact info.
Yeah, so you had a slide with contact info, I believe. If you can go back to that slide.
Yes.
Have you raised funding already?
That's what I'm doing now, and then I should close that in March.
So you're kind of I would say a technical founder. As a software engineer, have you built most of the app at this point?
Yes, I built up by myself, and then I'm working on a CTO next week so that it can focus on doing more. Then I can do the business side.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, congratulations on what you've accomplished so far and all the businesses you've connected with. It's amazing, actually. For a solopreneur, for a single founder, that's amazing.
Yes.
Thanks.
And we already know you shared with us already what we can do for you as a community in terms of introductions. I'll be happy to follow up with you in terms of any kind of angel investors or VC network here. And any other schools, we'll see if we can connect you with McDaniel College here in Westminster.
Yes.
And Carroll Community College. I think is that about it? Anybody else have questions? All right. Well, Vladimir, thank you very much for presenting to us today here in Westminster. We really appreciate it. Good luck with everything.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so since we have some time, we can open it up to any kind of community updates, shout outs. Let me see if I can get into speaker mode. No, that's not right.
Where's Billy?
What's that?
Where's Billy?
Oh, yeah, where's Billy? Yeah. So I can move the camera around if anybody wants to come up and talk about anything in particular. Together we own it updates. Come on up. Here, I'll turn the camera around this way. That's weird. Look at that.
I'm Katie from Together We Own It. Updates. We have lots of things going on right now. We just in October acquired the space next to our current center. So we have an additional about 8,000 square feet that we're working with now. 12,000 square foot center is under construction. So that's kind of our big push right now is we're trying to get the space ready. The new spaces will be kind of twofold. Our part of the programs that we're going to offer in those spaces are going to serve transition age youth. So in 2020, 10 of our kind of founding youth graduated high school. And so that was something that was new for us. When we started in 2018, we really had a lot of 15-year-olds. It was kind of our sweet spot. And so they all became 18 now. And more often than not, we're handing tents and sleeping bags to our kids, which is really heartbreaking. They've done so much intentional work in our center while they were in, as youth, that now as adults, kind of the stools kicked from underneath them. And so in the new space, we're going to be building programs to really serve that transition. And our goal is to help them achieve independence. So our goal is to be able to offer temporary shelter and housing in that space for those aged youth, and then also like GED prep classes. We have one starting in February with Carroll Community College, financial literacy, working with the Business Employment Resource Center, getting our kids kind of connected and kind of being a central location, getting on the housing, voucher list and things like that. The other portion of that space is going to be community space. So being able to offer trainings. Our staff is trained in restorative practices. And we want to be able to train the community in that and other things as well. So we really want to open our doors to the community so that we can kind of bridge the work that we do within our center into kind of the nature of and culture of our community. And do that by training other individuals, community members, educators, other organizations and things like that to kind of bring trauma-informed care into the nature of Carroll County.
What are restorative practices?
So it is I'm not the trainer, but I've been trained in it, so don't quote me on this maybe, but Angela Hill, our Director of Youth Development, is trained in restorative practices, and we use it in our center. There's restorative justice, restorative circles, there's all sort of restorative methods. We kind of flip the question of what did you do into like what happened. And so we use it with our youth a lot. We do restorative circles every day with our youth programs. And it really kind of builds community. So how we use it in practice is we sit in a circle literally like this. We have nothing between us in our circle. And we start with a couple of restorative questions. And so we use those questions like I said, like what happened, or trying to think of what some of the other ones might be, but we use it to kind of open doors. So when we do a circle, we do a check-in. We have a board that goes around. Our kids give kind of a mental health check-in. And then from there, usually we bring a topic. So it might be as simple as what would your superpower be if you had one? And we use that to kind of open the door, and then from there launches conversation. So what is your superpower might turn into something that happened to you today, that might turn into, oh, that happened to me too. And we kind of just build community by opening that conversation and creating this space. We also use it for our victim impact classes with our DJS youth. We have a restorative accountability program that really, again, flips the question on what happened. How does stealing a pair of shorts from Walmart impact the greater community? And so we use that through our diversion programs a lot. Restorative justice is something that's becoming, I think, more popular in communities, and kind of breaking down really what happened, what has happened to you, as opposed to what did you do or why, kind of putting the blame really. So we use it as a way to build community. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. Within our space, obviously, like the construction process is really at the forefront right now, which is not what we do at our core. So it's kind of pushing us out of our comfort zone a little bit, and trying to get the space ready so that we can open. Our hope is that the community space that'll be open for trainings and things will open in February. And then we can start to kind of do the transition to youth services, have the kids come to us, and then building kind of the shelter space and the actual functional space for them will come down the road. And it's something that we're working with the city council and things like that to prep for what all of the red tape and things that we need to be able to do that. So
That's great. You're doing a great job, Katie.
yeah.
Anybody have any questions for Katie? All right, any other community updates then? Anybody else want to get up and Rick, come on up. You're the next contestant.
Billy's not here. All right.
And since we're already streaming via Zoom, that's why I haven't switched the view. It's just easier that way. Otherwise, we'd have to disconnect and then reconnect. So
All right, so
I apologize for the effect here.
Oh, no problem. Just a quick update for us. It's January 27th. We're hosting the Chamber of Commerce PM Connections here. So if anyone from this group is not a member of the chamber, obviously Mike from the chamber would like me to ask you to join the chamber. But if you're not, please, you can email Rick or Nick at Startup Portal, and we'll make sure you get on the list. Otherwise, if you're a member of the chamber, you can go in and register for the event. I think they said we have 16 people. Hopefully the COVID thing doesn't get in the way. But typically what we'll do is spread the furniture out, get more tables. And then this time we have the backspace, we'll probably grow food and stuff like that. So so we'll see. So that's my update, and obviously let us know if you can make it. I think it's January 27th, 4 to 6 p.m. So that's all I got.
Any questions for? All right, thank you, Rick.
Can I do a biz challenge update?
What's that? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, please do. Steve Lowe from 127 Creative.
What's up, guys? Steve Lowe from 127 Creative. we kind of promote and produce the Biz Challenge, also powered by the Carroll County Chamber of Commerce. Every year, every year we give away 10 or 5. It was 10 last year because of the 10th anniversary. But basically, it's a startup competition. Dozens of entrepreneurs enter, and then 5 are chosen to kind of pitch their idea before a live audience and a panel of judges at the Arts Center in August. And so the application period will open up Thursday, February 10th. And we're having a we're still confirming, but we should be all good for a kickoff event at the college, at the Carroll Community College on the 10th. So you're all invited, even if you're not like necessarily applying. Maybe you know somebody that is. Obviously, it's kind of an entrepreneurial group right here. So I'm sure we all know a dozen people that could apply for this thing. And it's in my opinion, the coolest thing that happens every year in Carroll County. I'm not just saying that because I get to like produce it. It really is. It is pretty cool. Because last year, I think we had over 50 applicants. And then the advisory council goes through the grueling process of picking just five out of all of those people to pitch their idea in August. So good time, opens up February 10th, and the application period will go through May 31st. And so tell everybody, get in there. I know a lot of you have done this. So thanks.
Any questions?
Steve,
Yeah.
can you, on the application, can you just describe what you're expecting from people when they apply?
Yeah. So it's a very simple, it's also free to apply, and it's a very simple process. We're tweaking the application a little bit this year, but basically there are 7 criteria that the judges and the advisory committee use to figure out, who should, be in that final competition. Like sustainability, creativity, originality, those kinds of things. And we're going to ask questions like, we want your vision in what's your business about in one sentence, and then now give it to us in a paragraph and show us how you think you're going to make money, and just kind of an outlook on how this whole thing can work. How is it going to sustain? What kind of community impact? This is the Carroll Chamber of Commerce event. And so we'd love it if you have an idea that blows up and goes around the country or the world, but we also want to know how's this going to benefit the community right here. So things like that. And at the kickoff, we usually give some real specifics about how to make an application that doesn't suck. So coming out for that, and just real simple, basic. Give us how you think this is going to work. What are you doing? Concisely, like what's your service? What's your widget? How's it going to make money? That sort of thing. It's cool.
And one question
Yeah.
is, age of idea or business?
Yeah, so thank you for that. So basically the official way that we say this is this should be an idea that either has started within the last year or you intend to start within the next year, somewhere in there. It's not a hard fast rule because you might have been starting, making your widgets in your basement 5-10 years ago, kind of as a hobby. And we're not going to say, oh, you've been at this 10 years. It's also possible that you incorporated it as an LLC 5 years ago and have done nothing with it. So that's a little bit of a fluid process to figure out. I mean, we will look, we're like, how long have you been around? But we try to figure out, what's a reasonable, start date for that. Does that answer your question?
Don't forget to tell them about the awesome photo shoot
The awesome photo shoot that we do
with the 5 finals.
with the 5 finals. Yeah, we put a little, it's awesome. We do an awesome, really awesome, unbelievably amazing
It's truly.
photo shoot that will probably just like hang up, maybe we'll do it here. I think we should, we kind of figure out a way to do it, hang up some black curtains, and we make it an amazing, absolutely amazing intro. And that serves as the intro for the event. So the winner gets $5,000 cash plus many, many $1,000s more in valuable prizes and services from businesses like this around the community. So, yeah, and then there's also, I wasn't even thinking I was gonna do this. There's also a $1,000 People's Choice Award. So the chamber gives the $5,000 cash and this, suite of other services. But then the people at the event and online can vote for who they think should get the $1,000 People's Choice Award. So it is very possible you can walk away with both. That's happened 3 times now, including last year, right? They got the People's Choice and the grand prize. So that can happen. It's more interesting when it doesn't, in my opinion. But anyway. Yep. Anything else? May 10th, come to the college, even if you're not.
February 10th.
What?
February 10th.
That's what you said.
Yeah, oh, please do. Yes, absolutely. Come on up.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, come on up.
So I just, thank you for.
And please introduce yourself to
Today.
people who don't know you.
I'm Jenny Adcock. I'm the Career Connections Coordinator with Francis Scott Key.
And I'm Steve Bowersox, and I do the same thing at Westminster High School.
Yep. So I just wanted to do some shameless plugs for our upcoming mock interview events, because all the high schools in the area have them, and they're in spring, and we're excited because they're back to being in person. So we haven't had one since 2019 in person. So we're gonna hopefully do that again. Hopefully COVID numbers won't ruin that.
We could use local business people to come in to help us interview the students. So they have a resume, it's a whole procedure.
It's a whole event.
It's a graduation
24th.
requirement. I think mine is first. Ours is first, March 31st.
Mine's March 24th. So they're in the morning. Our employers who come out, I have one employer who's been coming out for years. He just loves it. He says he finds renewed faith in the next generation when he comes out and interviews. So if you guys happen to be free those mornings and want to come out, we've also had employers who come out and they interview students, and then like serendipitously, they find a student who would be a good intern, because we also run the internship program. So for like Katie, we love our, you guys do an amazing job with the students that together we're going in.
Rick also.
And Rick, yeah, so well, I know Steve, you guys have a student here, but so yeah, we just want to do a shameless plug for that. If you guys ever have a need for some students, but we'd love to have you guys help with our mock interviews if you're available. So
Yeah, it is, and I don't know how many people actually know about this, and it's really after the topic today, when he's helping college students get internships. We have a lot of kids who need internships. And if you're a local business person out there who's looking for it in a variety of fields, veterinary science, accounting, general business, marketing, whatever, contact the high school closest to you and ask to talk to the career coordinator.
or just contact us.
Or just the two of us, so we can do whatever.
No, we share very nicely in the county. So if we don't, like, if you contacted us and you had a need for a design student and we didn't have somebody for you, we work with our constituents at Winners Mill and Century and Manchester Valley and say, hey, I've got this business, they have a need. I don't have a student who matches that description or has those skills, but you might have somebody. So we do work very, very closely together to see if we can find the right student who would be a
And
good
if we
fit.
don't have someone right at that time, maybe next year, we would have somebody who can help you out. And we have summer interns also, so,
And they don't have to be paid. So if you guys just need some assistance, need some help, have some projects, short-term, students, they're all seniors in high school, so they do a nice job. Right? They do.
I say we hired our 2020 high school intern, now works for us.
Oh, really?
Is that
Wow.
Nikki? Where's that? Nikki?
No, Luca
Oh,
from Winners Mill.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, thank you guys.
all right, yeah. Thank you very much.
Any other updates? Anybody else? 11 minutes.
I'll do a quick update for Magic, just because on that note about internships. By the way, I've done the mock interviews. It really is a fun process. If you've got the, I can't remember what it was, like an hour or so time.
8 till 11.
It's 11. Oh, okay. So yeah, but it's pretty low impact, and it really is very rewarding. You get to meet some great kids. And it is reaffirming in terms of, seeing what the next generation is capable of and what they're working on, what they're learning. In fact, did we just bring on an intern from Winters Mill at
At
Magic?
the end of this month.
End of this month, he'll start, right? So we've actually been through that process ourselves at Magic, and brought on a Wintersville intern, and we are in the process of actually kind of trying to get our cyber jobs program back up and running, which was funded by the USDA last year, but because of the pandemic, we couldn't really place any of the students into our employer network. So we're kind of relaunching that after having met with all the career coordinators at Carroll County Public Schools recently. That kind of reinvigorated that conversation. So we are hoping to get cyber jobs back up and running. And we just were talking with Zach Tomlin next door here at Tomlin Tech, and he wants to be a partner with us to start offering those paid interns through the cyber jobs program to his clientele as well. So that may be the way we end up growing that program, is through partnerships like with Tomlin Technology and maybe other cybersecurity firms in the area. Just to give you an idea what that is, cyber jobs is meant to place paid high school interns into local businesses that need help with penetration testing, sort of audit and assessment of their policies and procedures when it comes to cybersecurity. Things that would normally cost like $200 an hour, we ask the employers, pay the students directly $500 for about 4 to 6 weeks of their work. So it's a great program. We're looking forward to actually getting it off the ground now that hopefully pandemic, maybe, hopefully this is the last wave before it becomes, a regular endemic seasonal thing that we just deal with, and is less disruptive, hopefully. Any other updates before we conclude? Yeah, Katie.
I just wanted to say too, I forgot, we're adding to our board currently, so I just want to put that out to the business community and local community. We're filling probably about 4 board seats, so I just want to throw that out there. If you're interested, you can send your resume to my email and I'll get it to our board training.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I have cards.
So Together We Own It is filling new board seats. In fact, Magic is too. I should mention that, but we're working through that process now. I think we've got 4 board seats that will be turning over in June or July. So we're starting that process as well.
And you have a deadline at the end of January for an event that I'm hoping to aspire to be a part of.
Which one?
Where
The hackathon?
the hackathon, yeah.
The mini hackathon?
Yeah.
That's right. Our mini hackathon will be concluding in January, right? End of January? 31st, right. So if you haven't, it's too late to start, isn't it?
No, I mean, it usually happens in a weekend.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so it's not too late to actually join in our hackathon. We have a mini hackathon. It's virtual. That started last month. It'll continue through January, and that'll be sort of a prelude to our full hackathon, which I believe will be in April, which will be our main live event, 3-day event. I believe it will be at Carroll Community College again this year. But the virtual hackathon already has some people from across the state participating in that, and so we're looking forward to seeing what the results of that look like. It's the first time we've done it this way, this new format of doing a virtual hackathon over a longer period of time. So yeah, thank you for reminding me. Yes.
A student who was trying to get into that, but she said she was supposed to get a link to your, starts with a D.
Discord?
Yeah.
Discord.
Okay, but she couldn't get the link to get onto Discord, so.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
don't know, I didn't know how to direct her, to help her, because she, really liked to do the hackathon, but.
okay. Well, we'll follow up with her then.
Okay.
I'll make sure our program director, Kim Samuelson, is the one who manages our Discord account.
Okay, I did
So-
email her, so, she's probably working on it, but I just wanted to mention, I don't know if that. Discord-
Oh, okay. Well, I'll ask her today. We'll find out. Get to the bottom of it. Thank you for telling us. All right, Tina, do you want to come up and close us out?
Sure. Absolutely. Well, it's been a fun day. Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to 2022, where magical things are going to happen for everybody. I can see it. We're grateful to be in this space, despite some of the things that are going on. I've got a mask that matches my shirt. I'm so excited. Thank you, Startup Portal, for being an awesome host. Thank you, Magic, for getting us all together. And thank you, Jeannie Bird, for the go-go juice and the fun munchies. Thank you to everyone who has come and participated both in real life, IRL, and online. Thank you to our presenter at Kado. Wishing you the best. We'll work on connections for you. And that is what 1 Million Cups is all about. It started in what state?
Kansas City, well,
Thank
Missouri. Kansas City.
Missouri, Kansas City, through the Kaufman Foundation, and it puts entrepreneurs together into an ecosystem that helps them hopefully thrive. And that's what we're here to do, is to help everybody in our physical ecosystem have people like-minded people to bounce their ideas off of where they are in their business, what they're trying to accomplish in the community for the community, and we're a community here to help you. So if you have not visited us in real life, and you're out there online, please consider coming to see us here on Wednesday mornings, because a lot of the support that happens as soon as the presentations are done, and we start talking amongst ourselves here, because the go-go juice is kicked in, man. So sometimes we have one presenter, sometimes we have two, and next week it could be you. Go to 1 Million Cups, millioncups.com/Westminster, and click on that apply to present button. It's very simple, one sentence answers to help us understand who you are, and we'll get you here into our ecosystem and help you out. Have a magical week.
Next week, we have two presenters.
We have two presenters next week. Awesome. Do we
It's
want to announce?
Share Hope Through Art, right?
Share Hope Through Art, local nonprofit.
And Westminster Street Coffee.
Westminster Street Coffee. More coffee. Yeah, more go-go juice. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, so two local organizations.
Fabulous. So yeah, this is so awesome that we have so many entrepreneurs in our community, so many like-minded people trying to help each other out. So we will see you next week. Have a magical week.